All right. According to Google, we are live. Thank you to everyone who will be watching this. You are watching RPG Enlightenment, and I am one of the founders of this channel. My name is Josh, and we are going to be getting a brand new campaign with our good uh, DM for this, Sarah. I'm Josh. I will be playing Delvin the Infinite, and we will see how that goes. If everybody wants to introduce themselves from, I guess, my left to right, just to make it simple. So, Andy.
Hi, I'm Andy. Um, this will be probably my second campaign I've ever played. Um, I'll be playing as Zelda, a divination wizard, an elderly gnome, female, and yeah.
Jim. Jim, did you freeze on us? All right, we'll just assume that Jim froze. Sarah.
Mine is Lord Humblefather.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm going to be your DM for this campaign, and hopefully we'll have a great time.
Philip.
Yo, I'm Phil. I'm going to be the mysterious individual who will refuse to show his face. This is probably I don't know, my fifth campaign. Never really completed a campaign before, so maybe this will be the first. Woo! So excited. I'm playing Iron Carcass. As far as the audience needs to know, I am a person in a suit of armor. And, I'm a sorcerer in a suit of armor. Male. Age 20. Yep. Woo!
And Jim.
Sorry guys, my internet's real shoddy out here. I believe it's my turn. So I'm Jim. I'm the other half of RPG Enlightenment. And tonight I'm going to be playing Lord Humberbottom. He is a goblin bard, and he is, as far as looks go, he is the stereotypical goblin. He is not the handsomest thing in the world, but he believes he is. So, yeah, he's going to be a very odd and pretty enthusiastic character, especially about himself. But yeah, so all you need to know about him.
All right, awesome. So, Sarah, take it away.
Okay. To start out, the four of you, for varying reasons, find yourselves in the city of Three Falls. It's the largest human city left in the world after something called the Great Conflict, which was basically a nuclear war, only with magic. It happened about 3,000 years ago and almost destroyed the world and almost took the humans with it. Today, Three Falls and its sister city across the Narrow Sea are the main hubs of humanity, and as such, they tend to attract other races, mostly the younger ones looking to see what all the fuss is about. So you find yourselves in a bustling marketplace. There are various stalls, people selling exotic fruits, things from the far reaches of the world. You see something that looks like almost a minotaur, but it's not quite what you're used to. She has shaggier fur and long antlers, and she seems to be hawking wares from the frozen north. Things like little statues carved out of mammoth ivory, strange pelts that you've never really seen before. Just a whole bunch of stuff.
Maybe you could imagine.
Is there anything in particular you guys want to look for, or just kind of roam around? What?
Are you muted?
No?
No? Okay.
And we lost Jimmy again.
Oh.
I do apologize for Jimmy. He's like in the middle of nowhere. He's literally hiding in a shed to play this game. So bear with him for that. But what were you going to say, Andy?
I was, excuse me. I was going to say I examined the fruits.
There's some things from Coromir, which is the continent to the south. It's a little more tropical. So you see things like brightly colored, bright orange with like pink spikes jutting off of it. And when the vendor cuts it open, it's like this really neon green. And then they carve some out and hand it to you. And when you taste it, it tastes like watermelon Jolly Ranchers, so you don't know what Jolly Ranchers are. Just this really intensely sweet flavor.
I say it's very tasty. How much is it?
Good with money.
5 copper pieces. 5 coppers.
1 silver piece. Because it's from like very far down.
That's far away.
Okay. So he bags up a few of them and hands them to you and says, "Have a very good day."
Thank you, I say, and I walk away.
The clock tower buzzes.
You'd see me kind of looking through all the different fruits and vegetables and everything that he has. Now, do I notice any fruit or anything that is like extremely different than all the rest? Like it's obviously like extremely different from everything else that he has.
Everything looks fairly exotic, but there are some more everyday things like apples and oranges and such.
I'd probably pick up, a couple, maybe dragon fruits or whatever is the equivalent of like dragon fruits and a couple apples, but kind of like with my head kind of in this, towards the sky, kind of like being very high and mighty about it,
Okay.
Probably toss a gold, silver coin or two at him, but not really say much. And just after I give him the money, kind of be like, so what's new in this godforsaken land?
So are you from Three Falls, or are you from somewhere else visiting?
Well, I kind of think that he's like part of like a noble house, kind of like a knight for a noble house. So all he really knows is, what's on the premise of, whoever gives him his orders.
Mm-hmm.
That any like peasants filled area or anything, it's like beneath him, even though he knows he has to go. So it's like, even when he says this godforsaken land, it's like kind of where he's from, but because he doesn't interact with these types of people on a usual basis, he has that like stuck up attitude about it.
Okay. Well, from what you've seen, you kind of get the feeling that this market is kind of like a tourist trap market. Like the people that live here don't really go here to get their everyday stuff. This is more about drawing other people in and trying to make some coin. So the man, he's kind of used to attitudes like this, damn tourists and all this stuff. Stupid microphone won't mute. Sorry, guys.
No, they have about.
I didn't catch any of that.
You speak in English instead of Portuguese.
What he's saying in regards to what's going on. I know, as when he's talking, like Dizzy from Mr. Yeah, but would come back. His internet being where he's at is not supporting Hangouts, so he's not going to be able to play this game tonight. But I mean, that's the nice thing about it being a campaign. He can just pop up in the next session.
Okay.
Or
as long as every
call it quits. I wouldn't mind playing, but I mean, you look a little nervous.
I just haven't played in a while.
So we're all a little finicky, a little worried that the ice is going to break from under us. Anyways, so I know what I'm here in the city for, trying to find the temple. Like, where would I find the Wick Temple?
The temple itself,
yeah,
is you actually came through it on your way down the river.
Right. So let's just say I just ended up on the wrong boat when I'm trying to get to the temple. Need to find someone at the temple. Is there like a cart, a guide somewhere?
So you're just wandering around lost?
Yeah. Like I say,
Okay.
I'm good with wilderness, but I'm not good with urban.
Okay. Well, if you're all kind of in the same spot, you see someone in a suit of full plate armor kind of wandering around, kind of looking around like he doesn't know exactly where he's supposed to be or where he's at.
This is your cue to do something.
Kind of noticing him out of like the peripheral of my vision, and kind of realizing that he's kind of doing the whole circle motion, trying to figure out where he is on the planet.
The whole lost tourist thing.
Yeah, the whole lost tourist thing, you know, staring up at the skyscrapers that don't exist. I would probably look over at him and walk up to him and be like, so are you lost? Kind of knowing the answer, but being, a little snobbish.
Yes, I am. The way to the temple from here. So high importance I get there. Said the man in a low, gruff tone that seemed to echo out from the armor.
Oh, dear fool. I will take you there. Kind of realizing that wherever the temple's at is relatively like close by, that he probably walked by it like 5 or 6 times and didn't realize it, type of thing. Andy, you doing anything during all of this?
Yeah, I just kind of follow you guys.
So you kind of weave through more vendors. This place is starting to be known for its clockwork pieces. There's a man off to one side with kind of a corral type of thing, and there's about the size of ponies are clockwork animals, horses, dragons, just interesting things. And he's offering rides to children or trying to sell some of these to more wealthier patrons. And he also has varying sizes. Some are very, very small. Some are very, very large. And he calls out as people pass by, and come see the wonders of technomancy.
Curious, I step aside for a quick second. So then I kind of prod one of the smaller displays. Say, this is interesting.
Yeah. How about you give me call it a handle check to see how well you handle the armor.
So would that be like a D20?
Yeah, it'll be your D20. So a 4?
Yep.
A 4. So you prod at this little mechanical spider that's kind of toddling around in a circle, and you slip, and it goes crunch. And you stop and look, and some of its legs are mangled, and it's kind of twitching, still trying to do its little programmed set of movements, but it's not going anywhere.
Oh.
And the man stops, and he looks at the spider, and then he looks at you, and he goes, "That'll be 5 gold pieces, please."
I have 5 gold pieces.
Yes, you do.
I thought it was a real spider. Can I roll a bluff?
You can roll a bluff.
15.
Well, be that as it may, the man says, you still owe me 5 gold pieces.
Roll another bluff.
No.
Uh,
So you hand over the money, and he picks up the little mangled clockwork spider, and he puts it in a little pouch, ties it shut, and hands it to you. Pleasure doing business with you. And he kind of looks at you guys, and he's like, please get him out of here, kind of with a look.
We're good to temple now.
So wait, Andy, you never necessarily introduced yourself or like engaged the thing. So are you like being stealthy about like following us, or are you just like walking with us and like whatever and just not talking to us even though you were standing right next to us?
It's like the creepy
Not
kid.
a reason to. I guess I'm just kind of walking behind you as though I'm just kind of like, exploring the area, I'm not necessarily acknowledging you guys or trying to follow you guys. I'm just kind of, I guess, shopping. I happen to be going in your direction.
Like the story. It's like, I'm totally not stalking you.
I mean, I can join you guys. It's just I haven't heard a reason why I would join you guys yet.
No, I know, but you had said that you were, walking with us, and I'm just like, wait, if he's walking with us and hasn't necessarily said anything to us, then that might be a little bit weird. So that's why I was asking to see how I should react. That's all.
Okay. How about I'll amend that? And for now, I'm just walking behind you guys.
Fair enough.
So in the midst of this crowded marketplace, you hear first is a young man's voice saying, please excuse me, pardon me. Sorry, ma'am, I'm sorry. Please excuse me. And as you look, coming through the crowd, you see a young boy, 12, maybe 13. He's wearing, what's it called? A tabard, I guess. That's white with some gold edging. On the front of it is a stylized sun with a hammer, a dwarven warhammer in front of it. And he's clutching a parchment tightly in his hands, making his way toward the center of the marketplace, where there's a raised dais where people will go to make announcements and such.
Look, temple boy.
And Andy, this symbol, you've seen it before.
Okay. Can I do a check to see if I know about it?
Absolutely. Knowledge.
Wouldn't that be history?
History or, I don't know, religion.
It could be religion. It could be history.
Choose either
Okay.
or.
I actually have the same modifiers for both of those, so hold on.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I have 17 total, that is.
17? Well, you may not know exactly what this means, but you do know that it belongs to the Order of the Sunhammer, which is the main temple in charge of Three Falls. And you know it the best because you saw it in the vision that sent you to Three Falls.
Ooh. Well, then I walk up to the dais where the boy's about to make an announcement.
Well, clearly he's from the temple, so you might as well hear what he has to say.
I mean, for me, I'm escorting, this man that I still don't know his name towards the temple. So unless the boy starts yelling out something and he stops, I'm escorting him to the temple still.
Okay. Well, once the boy gets to the dais, he kind of unrolls his scroll, kind of trembling because he doesn't want to be in front of a bunch of people. And he takes a deep breath and he belts out, "Hear ye, hear ye! By order of the Temple of the Sunhammer, all seasoned adventurers are called upon to go out into the wilds."
Or
Hush.
come on,
And do what in the wilds?
get on with it.
I just went like, stop
The nice thing
laughing
about
at
having him
me.
next to you is you can hit him, and no one will say anything because he's right next to you. So, just thought I'd throw that out there if he's
Yeah.
making you even more nervous.
He says, any interested parties are to report to the Temple of the Sunhammer by tomorrow mid-morning. There you will be assessed and receive your assignments. Thank you. And then he rolls up the scroll and kind of shrinks and kind of scurries off into the crowd again.
Well, off to the temple.
Off to the temple.
Either way, Baron von Pence.
As he scurries off, I say, young man, stop right there. Would you be so kind as to escort an old lady like me to the Sun Temple?
Of course, ma'am. It would be an honor. And he kind of holds out his arm.
And I take it.
Mr. Noble, are we going to tail after them or what?
I mean, me
Sorry,
and you
I
were
was
already
muted.
walking at the temple, so
So either way, Noble one, said the Iron Man
you'd see as
unenthusiastically.
Delvin
Delvin.
almost snobbishly grabs onto him from him breaking the mechanical spider and pulling him from that location after hearing, I guess what would equate to the town crier saying what he did, and pulling him towards whatever direction the temple is in.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me. And he'll just be like, "This is why you're here, isn't it?"
Sure.
He is kind of a so-so yes.
Like, you look at me, it's like fully decked helmet that just covers the face, nothing, can't really see his face. Great sword slung on his back. Some spikes here and there on the pauldron. It's like, yeah. It's clear to me that this is a seasoned quote-unquote adventurer. It's like, yeah, get you going.
Well, Delvin, you know that the easiest way or the quickest way to get to the temple would be to take a carriage or a smaller carriage, kind of like a taxi. And as you move over to where many drivers are waiting, you see the young boy who gave the message escorting an elderly gnome woman towards one of them.
Well, time to carpool.
Noticing the fact that it's the same boy from the cry earlier, you'd see me hasten my pace, still with this metal arm, still in, within my grasp, pulling him towards this boy, and saying, you'd hear me yelling, boy, is this carriage going towards the temple?
He kind of startles and looks over at you as he's helping the gnome lady into the carriage. He's like, yes, sir, it is. This lady was wanting to go to the temple, so I'm escorting her there. Were you wanting to come with us?
Room for 2 more.
I don't even think I'd say anything. I just, as soon as he says that it's going towards the temple, you'd see Delvin get in and be as like not even letting him finish saying, "Would you care to join us?" Getting in and say, "All right, let's go."
So he's like, yes, it is. So you just kind of push him out of the way and climb in.
Does he like push past me? Am I even fully in the carriage when he goes in?
It's like Delvin, gnome lady, boy, Tarkus, me, and I give my name as Tarkus on the right towards the temple.
Okay. Mrs. Zelda was already in the carriage and finding her seat when Delvin pushed his way in. The boy is kind of taken aback at being so rudely shoved out of the way, and he kind of stops and he looks towards Delvin, and then he looks up towards you, Tarkus.
I gesture towards him. Go on in. I'm coming in after.
And he kind of gives a little nod, and he scurries up into the carriage himself, and then Tarkus follows after. The boy, who gives his name as Ben.
I say Armin.
Tells the driver to take you all to the temple and hands over a few coins. And the man nods, and, chucks his reins a little bit, and you start off. It kind of rumbles over the rough cobblestones. And you make your way through town. As you go, Delvin, you can't help but wonder to yourself how Tarkus managed to miss the temple, because it sits on the top of what's called the Temple Cliffs, which is this massive cliff face towards the back of the city. The city sits between the waters of the Middle Sea and the Temple Cliffs. And there are 3 waterfalls running over these cliffs, which give the town their name. And in between these falls are massive statues. One of Pelor, the human god of light and good, and then the dwarven god Moradin, the soul forger. They've been carved out of the living rock, and they have their arms outstretched over the city in a gesture of blessing. And it's just this hugely awe-inspiring sight.
And as that, kind of runs through my mind of knowing that this person should have known where it was, you'd see as I lean in towards this full-plated, person kind of grabbing, whatever would be equivalent to like his helmet area, and be like, "Can you even see in here?" I mean, the temple's pretty much right in front of your face. Can you not see? Kind of shaking, his head a little bit, trying to see if I can find, the eyes.
The helmet clearly obscures like a dark shadow over anywhere that you would see anything. And I look at you, it's like, I can see clearly, thank you. That's I shut Bad's hands away. It's just kind of hard to figure out the roads from the dock up around to the cliff face. I'm sorry, sir. I never really gave us a city layout, so I couldn't really figure out where I felt like the supermarket was like the opening of the city. Who is making that noise? Whatever. It's like, yeah, I could see the temples are there. I just couldn't find the road up to it.
The driver calls back, clearly eavesdropping. Yeah, this can be a bit of a maze.
See? Now, please.
Kind of like mid-shake of this person's kind of helmet. It's like he was about to thrust it again forward, and then he hears the driver saying that, and it's just like he stops, like jolting, his head a little, this person's head a little bit, kind of making this really upset face, kind of slowly looking up towards the driver, like shaking his head. You're not helping, looking back at him, letting go of, the helmet and sitting down.
Got his hands away.
Oh, you're hard to hear in the background, so if you did.
You need to speak up.
Didn't I bet your hands away? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, either way, I'm assuming I probably went back at some point.
Okay.
But yeah, kind of like you're not helping, and then sit back down abruptly, kind of angrily sitting down.
Does anyone else want to add their 2 cents to this conversation?
I don't know what Mrs. Zelda thinks of all of this.
Elda. Is it Elda or Zelda?
She just sits there.
Zelda.
Zelda. All right. Sorry, go ahead. All right.
Kind of wondering.
She just kind
Kind
of sits there for herself and ignores the situation.
Kind of wondering if all the stories she's heard about humans are true. Are they all so rude?
Yeah.
Well, as you slowly meander through the maze-like streets and make your way up to the temple cliffs, you can see things being raised and lowered on huge elevators, trying to cart things, provisions and such, to the human settlements that are further out from Three Falls. It's hundreds of feet up to 300-foot cliffs. And there is a line starting to form of other adventurers that have heard from either Ben or other criers in different parts of the city about this call that's gone out. And they're all kind of filing into the different entrances into the temple cliffs.
So we have a, so you think you can dance kind of line growing outside the building?
Something like that.
Okay, just trying to get the picture in my head.
Yeah.
Feeling rather, how can I put it? I don't know how to put it. Pretty much, you'll pretty much see Delvin get in line, but kind of give this, really pissy sigh. Like, I'm a little too good for this, but I really need money at the moment, so I have to be here anyway, kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Zelda gets in line, waits patiently. She closes her eyes and almost looks like she's taking a nap.
I asked Ben, the young boy, it's like, I need to talk with a high priest.
Yes, sir. Master Tywin is in charge of the temple. I'm sure he would be happy to speak with you.
Could you please lead me to him?
Child? Of course.
Thank you. As I get a secret way in. Cha-cha.
There's not just adventurers going into the cliffs. The cliffs themselves are home to schools and libraries and other places of worship, not just the temple. But the temple does top the very top of the cliffs, and it controls who comes in through the 3 rivers. that kind of divide this continent into its parts. So Ben kind of motions for Tarkus to follow him, and he goes into another sort of side entrance. And he speaks a word, kind of whispers it into something, and the door slides open, and the two of them head inside. I don't know if you guys want to follow.
So what you gonna do about it, Dolan? Sorry. Out of character.
I mean, I escorted him there, so I guess wherever he goes at that point, I'll follow.
Ben seems kind of surprised to see two other people coming in, but he doesn't say anything, just stands aside and lets you guys come on in. He nods to Zelda, ma'am, and then the door shuts behind you guys. So I had to cough. Would you quit?
I'm sorry.
He leads you guys down a narrow hallway, and there's something at the end that kind of resembles the huge freight elevators from outside, only it's smaller and more designed for the comfort of its occupants.
A little more ornate cushions.
A little more ornate. Yeah, there's some seating, there's some like filigreed wrought iron gates in front of it. So he motions you guys to go in, and he says, "This will take us straight to the top."
All right.
I say thank you.
Motion the boy to start the elevator. Let's go.
You're so impatient. So he pulls the lever, and the carriage kind of jolts a little bit as the mechanisms engage, and then it starts to rise. And it rises and rises. It passes a few more doorways on the way up, different levels, different libraries, temples, things like that, until it finally opens and you see a great hallway, ornate and decorated with stylized suns and dwarven architecture and things like that. You can see other adventurers filing in from different doorways all around, and a group of older men, old wizened humans and dwarves that are in their greater years, and they seem to have the raiment of people of importance. And they're kind of in a group up on another dais behind a table with some chairs, and they're speaking amongst themselves as all these adventurers file in.
I was thinking get ahead of all of them.
I guess I go up to those group of men. I ask, "Excuse me, is this where the seasoned adventurers are supposed to go?"
One of the older humans, a man with a long white beard.
Gandalf.
It's not Gandalf. And blue priestly robes. He stops his conversation and he turns and he looks at you and he says, "It is indeed, my lady. How may we help you?"
I say yes, please.
Is Ben still around?
He is. He's kind of hanging around back by the elevator.
I ask him which one is Grandmaster Tywin.
Tywin?
Tywin,
He's right there, and he points to the man who's speaking with Zelda.
Well, decided to walk straight up to him. I must time him. Yeah, I wait patiently for a little bit. I think is Zelda done talking with him. That's great. Screw it. So, excuse me, Grandmaster Tywin. I have a question, well, a matter of great importance that I need to speak with you in private about.
Well, as you can see, young man, I have that was cold. I have a prior engagement I must attend to, but afterwards, I'm sure I can.
I interject with a name you should know, like say Sage Ledric is sent me.
Ledric.
Let's say he was like the leader of my. Sorry.
He kind of stops and thinks to himself, stroking his chin. Ledric. Ah, I see. I will speak with you later, but I do have all these others to see to. He looks around. Ben, and he calls the boy over. Ben comes scurrying up. Yes, sir? I'd like you to stay with this man. He's a friend.
Not a friend.
Of a friend. And then he turns back to the other elders. What would you guys like to do?
Are the rest of the adventurers walking in a particular direction?
They're all kind of shuffling in and milling about, getting into their own groups and talking about adventures they've been on before and what this might be about. And have you heard that there's plague spreading through the city? And I've heard that there's stuff going on in Coromir. Whispers of pirates and raids on fields and a whole bunch of stuff.
The One Ring has revealed itself again. Sorry, Mr. Turing. Sorry, go ahead.
Can I do an investigation check on these adventurers to see if any of them like strike me or anything?
Strike your fancy, you mean?
Maybe.
Sure. Like what exactly are you looking for?
Nothing in particular, and maybe it's a perception check, but just kind of like looking over them to see if any of them are particularly interesting or.
Yeah, that's fine. Sure.
All right. I have an 18.
Well, there are an awful lot of them. And they're all different races. You see a few Dragonborn, you see a few half-orcs, just the whole range of adventurers.
A couple of goblins shuddering amongst themselves. A very unright one with bagpipes in the background for some reason.
You can tell that most of them are not new to this. Most of them are decked out in weapons. They've got really good armor.
A couple of battle scars here and there.
Yeah, battle scars.
I'm missing one or two.
Do you want a DM?
I'm trying to help. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, just a motley assortment of all the people you could ever think of.
Okay. Well, I guess I just kind of stand by myself and wait patiently for whatever they're all waiting for too.
Okay. Well, as the time goes by and the steady stream starts to trickle, and it seems like most of them have found their way in, at least for today, the 6 or 7 high priests of the temple seem to come to a conclusion, and Master Tywin moves to the very front of the room and kind of raises his hands and calls for silence, and a hush falls over the crowd. And he says, "Thank you all for coming. I know this is a little unorthodox, but these are hard times. I have called you all here because we need your help. As you may have heard, there are some things happening. I know there's been talk of plague. God's forbid. It's not turned that far yet. But there is a sickness. We have our clerics working diligently, trying to halt its spread. And we have many of our fighters and paladins in Coromir working to halt the raids that are happening there. That is the only reason we are calling for you all to come here and help. We have other human settlements further out towards the wilds, any kind of gestures, that require a little help from time to time. We will be distributing medicine to make sure this sickness doesn't spread that far, and to help them with any efforts they may need. If that's not to your liking, you are welcome to leave." Any motions to the door?
Does anyone leave? I stay.
There's a few of them. There's always a few that kind of look and grumble and walk off.
You'd probably just hear me chuckle at the request that he's putting to all these people, kind of looking around everybody, judging, everyone as to like 90% of them probably wouldn't even survive even if they tried. And says, "I guess it was fate that I escorted you here. Finally, something that I can actually take as somewhat of a challenge." And I'll probably start walking closer to this priest guy who's talking.
Okay. As he finishes, he kind of motions, and stewards that are dressed kind of like Ben in their white tabards come forward, and they start, talking to different groups, showing them to where they can sleep for the night, where they can get some food and prepare and all this other stuff. And Tywin then turns to the man you escorted in, and he says, "Now, tell me," what was his name?
Ledric.
What did Ledric say?
I look around to make sure no one else is really listening in on the conversation. But how about I mute myself for added effect? Here.
If you guys want to do a perception check, I think, to kind of eavesdrop in, you're welcome to.
I got a 12.
12.
Give me 1 second. I can't find my dice now. Oh, I used the crappy one. I got the perception 9 on dice, and I get a +4, so 13 total.
Okay. You roll just a straight 20.
Yeah, I don't roll what's good. Roll a 1. It's like a roll of 1. I shot it out.
Oh, if he rolls a 1, it's just like he goes to, like, you know, talk above the crowd, and then everybody shuts up as soon as he starts talking.
Stealth.
Just the hush falls over the crowd. And
Let's go with like stealth, so like.
that's a 12.
Yeah, screw it.
And okay, so he got a 12. Delvin got, did you say 13?
Yeah.
Okay. And Zelda got, what was that?
A
A
12.
12. Okay, so as quiet as he's trying to be, all of you still hear that he's basically whispering about his clan's leader sent him here because their magic is fading, and they're not sure why. They're hoping that Tywin can help them. But the disease that's spreading through Three Falls has also hit his community, and it's wrecking some stuff. You're not really sure why this needs to be a secret, but you can see Tywin nodding and saying, yes, of course, it's a terrible thing. I wish we could help more. And then he kind of notices you noticing them.
Do I notice them? Noticing us? Them noticing us?
I don't know if they're trying to be stealthy about it, but you might.
Are they?
Are you guys trying to be stealthy about it?
Or are you just
listening
guys?
in?
Or are you just standing there stirring slug? I'm like, whoa, that's fucked.
I try to be stealthy about it.
Okay.
I think I'm just staring right at him as he's talking.
You're not even hiding it.
There's no reason for me to. I mean, I feel like I'm, you know, the baddest in the party, you know. So if there's something needs to be a secret, he wants to know, because at the end of the day, if he's gonna end up risking his life, he wants to know what the hell's going on.
Okay. Zelda, I don't know if you want to roll a stealth. See if
I'll roll. I got a 9.
a 9. I think you don't want to. I think it's noticed.
Perception, I guess.
Yeah. What's your passive? Your passive is 12.
So 15.
So, yeah, you notice right away that Delvin is just blatantly staring, watching this whole thing go down. And this gnome lady next to him is doing a very bad job of not listening in as well.
They're like, It's like trying to looking the other, like her face is looking the other way, but you see her eyes just going, I roll intimidation for like you are nothing. 14 plus 3.
Who are you trying to intimidate?
Both of them, as in this leaves no one.
This stays between us.
I get a 17 for
Okay.
intimidation.
So he's trying to intimidate you guys into not spreading tails.
Okay.
So are we rolling something against that, or what are we basing it off of?
I'm not
Would
sure.
it be some sort of saving throw? Maybe?
I
Because
don't
if
know.
intimidation's charisma, wouldn't it be a charisma saving throw to not be intimidated?
It might be. Let me check.
Or do you try to intimidate him back?
Three of you just mean mugging at each other.
It's like, this leaves no one. And you go like, oh yeah, what if it does?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Try to intimidate me back. Let's go. Beat my 17.
$16 on dice. What's my intimidation modifier? +3, so that's what, 19? Boom, baby.
So Tarkus kind of takes a step forward and squares his shoulders, just showing just how big and mean he is. And you take a step forward and show that you're just a little bit meaner.
Gotta roll another intimidation. Okay. I'll stop.
Stop making it difficult. This is her first time in a long time.
It's not the first time.
It's been a few years, yeah.
First actually.
And it's a whole new, fairly new system. So Tywin kind of looks at this display that's happening around him. He's got kind of a little smile, like, I remember what it's like to be young, going on. And he says, well, my friend Ledric, if he sent you, I will do everything in my power to help you. Unfortunately, because of all that is happening now, you may need to help us as well.
Fine.
And he kind of looks around, and everybody else is kind of grouped up. And he says, if it would not be against any of you, would you be willing to form a group with my friend Tarkus here? I owe his leader a debt. But I do have
I
need.
say if that's where I'm most needed, then
You definitely see me kind of roll my eyes a bit and probably do a little bit of like a snarl. But realizing that if I want to, do this, I'm most likely going to have to team up with him. So he probably sulks his shoulders down a little bit, looks at the man asking, and says, like, kind of underneath his breath, fine, I'll team up with this, what's a good word for a person who gets lost easily?
Tourist.
Wandering pool.
Yeah, I like his better. And I'll team up with this wandering fool.
Tywin kind of sighs and he looks to Zelda. He says, I am truly sorry, madam.
I say it's It's all right.
But perhaps a grandmother such as yourself may keep these two in line.
That's right. I've raised so many children. I can help these guys along too.
Well, he kind of claps. It's settled then. And he motions, and then Ben comes running up, and he says, Ben, these three are going to be sent out on the morrow. Take them to food and drink and where they may rest. And Ben kind of nods, yes, sir. Follow me this way. And he leads the way off into the living part of the temple.
I follow after Ben. Just like, yeah, lead the way. Taking the lead.
I follow Ben.
Reluctantly, I'll follow Ben.
Nice sound effect.
So what happens now, hon?
Food, drink, and the rest.
Eat, drink, and make merry. Well, I get a cough drop. So, if you guys don't want to do anything else, we can
Fast forward.
fast forward to the morning.
Would this can
Well-
be any damage or anything?
Not yet, I don't think.
They haven't really come to blows yet.
Unless Tarkus and Delvin decide to get into a fist fight.
Oh, that'll be fun. You know, I had PvP in a single game, and ever since then, I look forward to the actual chance that that comes up again. And then I feel bad every time because it's just like, I don't want this to happen, but it's so fun when it does. But in the time, you know, that we're at, you know, whatever tavern in that we're at, I think that, you know, as just a group, seeing as we're going to be a party together, you know, sit around, you know, talk and at least do standard introductions, at least.
Okay. Well, Ben
If
leads
everyone
you
else
to
is cool with that.
Sure.
Yep. Ben leads you to a kind of cafeteria type area where other stewards and are cooking, spooning up stew and meat and potatoes for all these adventurers that have come in. It's kind of noisy, you know, the dull roar of everybody talking at once. Clank of silverware, people laughing too loud, and just general organized chaos. What do you do?
I shuffle over toward the food, and I gather myself a plate and put food on that plate.
I grab the beer. If there is beer.
There's beer.
Yeah, then that's the first thing I'm grabbing.
Brewing is a time-honored tradition of monks.
Amongst dwarves and human folk alike. As I grab a plate of food and goblet of water, seems loose. And kind of slink off somewhere private. So,
So you don't sit with the others?
Yeah. just sit with the others and pretend to drink.
Well, you guys all sit down at a table together with your food. And feel free to talk amongst yourselves.
I say, hello, young man. I'm Zelda.
I am Delvin, the Infinite. And you better remember, I am not one that likes to repeat things twice.
I say, huh? And I put a hand up to my ear.
Oh, you old fool. And then he'll just kind of like slam his, jug of ale against the table, probably reaching over to Tarkus's plate and pulling his plate of food over to himself, and just start eating what food that Tarkus had brought over.
Grab a goblet and water. Grab a goblet of wine or whatever alcoholic beverage. It's like, Tarkus, Iron Tarkus to some. Clank, clank, heart, heart. You know, motion over to Delvin. They say drink is best shared amongst people. And I dumped the drink on his head.
Okay.
Drink is best shared amongst people. Amongst comrades.
Kind of sighing heavily, almost annoyed.
Soaking wet.
Yeah.
Wine dripping from your hair.
With a very, pissy face, befalling him. It's just like, well, if we're going to have to work together, I guess we should get to know at least each other's names. And then once again, you can definitely hear in his voice, he's upset. You'll just hear him say, "My name is Delvin."
I interrupt.
Dragging it out for the old lady.
I say, oh.
Who might you all be?
Well, if you focus more on listening instead of saying your name, Delvin, infinitum, you would have overheard that the fine silver fox over here is Zelda, and that the iron man next to you is Tarkus. I know it's kind of hard to hear with your head stuck up your infernal ass. I'm not good with insults. But I know you can hear a little bit out there. This is kind of going awful. I am just, oh dear. Okay, back into character. Let's go. Oh dear.
hearing as this metal man looks at me and has the gall to speak to me in that way. You'd see me as I take my last sip of ale, and I am going to bash the jug of the cup of ale against his head. I don't know if you want me to roll an attack to see if I actually hit him, or if I'm already drunk as a skunk to, miss someone who's sitting right next to me.
Purgatory stinks like a skunk.
Let's say because of the surprise, you actually hit him. What do you do?
What is that? 1d4 damage technically? Or are we doing narrative?
So, yeah.
Because it's
Improvised weapon. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, 3 out of 4.
Does that break my arm across?
Well, he hits you, but it makes this dull, hollow thunk as it collides with the side of his helmet, and it kind of rings like a bell.
Is that all you got?
Kind of hearing the thunk, it's just like almost as if it's like a. Now, would you describe it as almost like a hollow kind of thunk, or how would
Less
you?
Less like a thunk, but more like a thump.
Yeah, it definitely reverberates more than it probably should.
Who might this? Hi, dear. Sorry, wife came back to me
unscathed.
Well, I'll have to do a strip search later on to make sure
Cavity
that
search,
happens.
please. Ooh, on your face.
Oh my.
So anyway, back to the game.
Oh, you poor flustered child.
You know we're on YouTube, right?
Damn it, dear!
No, it's a little one for the outtakes.
When I say shit.
Yes, always. I ate some of it. The rest of yours.
You ate the majority of it.
Can I play, or are you already saying it's bedtime?
He just started a fight.
Yeah, I know. I just started a fight with a fellow player, and you made me lose my complete and utter train of thought.
Good.
Oh no! You took him out of the zone. Oh no!
Immersion's petrified. All right, now what was I doing? Oh yeah, that's right.
You
Trying
just
to kill
smacked him upside the head with a mug.
Which shattered and just kind of went like, it's like that's all you got.
I think I'd probably be a little taken back at the noise that it makes, just being a man in chainmail.
Zelda curiously, like, Harley taps him on the shoulder to see if it makes the sound again.
That one sounds a little more solid, but it also has kind of a reverberation to it.
You're not even a man at all, are you?
More of a man than you, said Tarkus as he stands up and is in the. Excuse me. I rolled for intimidation again. Stands up. Ooh, go.
Mind you, if you fail this intimidation, I'm grabbing a chair and hitting you with it.
You might not even have to do that.
You just rolled a nat 1 on it, didn't you?
3, actually. Plus my 3 is 6, so I stumble as I try to get up. For it's like, oh yep.
Oh man.
I say, Mildred, no need for fighting.
I kind of think it was that moment where I had grabbed the chair to hit him again, and then we hear Zelda saying that, and like almost that second right before impact, the chair just stops, maybe a hair from its face, and then you'd see me as like I pull the chair back very slowly, looking over at this lady, kind of shaking my head slowly, and then I hit him with the chair because this person has no resonance with me whatsoever.
All right.
Okay. Roll an attack then.
I think I'm going to keep that one just more narrative because I want that to be the end of the combat, but I really wanted to hit him with the chair.
Okay.
So I'm going to leave that as more narrative than
Right.
than anything.
Let's go through it. Come on. See if it breaks the armor class.
All right, fine, I'll roll. I got 13 on dice. Do I add my attack modifier?
Yes.
Okay, so 13 plus 6, so 19.
You hit him.
1 damage. It makes it 10. And makes a loud, reverting ding
And he kind of rings like a bell.
throughout the entire, just
Detect magic on the suit of armor.
Do you want to roll for it, or is that just something that happens?
It says for the duration, which is 10 minutes, I sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of me, and I can see a faint aura around the magic in question. I learn the school of magic that is involved with this magic, if any. Basically, if there's magic going on, I see it. Magic it is.
Okay. Yeah, since you're focusing on him, you definitely... There's a shining aura all around this suit of armor. What school that would be?
enchanting.
Not sure about the schools.
Something to do with enchantment or manipulation, I'm sure.
One moment. Out of the corner of your eye, you do see other things kind of lighting up around you. Different things, weapons, and objects that the other adventurers have.
Ring on a small hobbit.
Stop with the hobbit. That's what I deal with. Oh, there we go. As far as you can tell, it's some kind of enchantment.
Okay. Cool. Well, Zelda takes a drink from her. She has a hip flask. And she just drinks from it.
You boys want a drinking contest?
Now, would that be who passes out first wins, or what are we?
What's the matter, Delvin? Can't hold your liquor?
He is covered in wine.
Clearly not. Because you got it all over yourself and me. Am I muted? No, I'm not. Here.
Could we do that? What do we roll for a drinking? Passes out first.
You know, I'm really curious as to how that would turn out.
Screw it, let's go for it.
Yeah.
Just roll Constitution check after Constitution check until
Yeah, the
you
ones
fail.
I've seen is Constitution checks.
Oh man!
So, startled out of your aggression by this
Take measuring
This
contest.
this man ringing like a bell when you hit him, and Zelda suggesting a drinking contest. You guys decide to sit down and see who holds their liquor better.
I am almost 100% sure that it is not me. I got a 5 on my dice, and I got a +5 to my Constitution saving throw, so I'm at 10 for my Constitution saving throw.
I got an 18.
You're muted, hun.
I know, we were chatting.
So yeah, some tavern maids start bringing some rounds of beer after we call for it. Roll.
Yep. Okay, that's good. I'm pretty sure Delvin's good. Miss Zelda, do you want to get out on this?
I got an 18.
18? You're good too. Next round.
I am really. Why the hell are we doing this right now? Okay.
Why not?
It's better than beating the shit out of each other.
I got a 14.
16.
Yep, everybody's still good.
Oh man.
Next.
I got a 19.
And I think I'm down. I rolled a 3 + 5, so I'm at 8.
Yep, Delvin's definitely staggering.
A puddle starts forming behind the feet of the sea. Let's go with that.
What's everybody's
Oh.
passive perception?
Press it 14.
12.
Oh. Diviz.
I believe it's, what is it? 10 plus your plus your wisdom bonus
I think so.
plus your proficiency.
So 12.
Oh. It's 13.
Okay. Miss Zelda is apparently still too engrossed in the drinking contest, but Delvin starts to see a small puddle forming underneath Tarkus's seat. Just a steady drip, drip, drip of beer.
Okay, a beer.
Yeah, okay, I thought the other thing. Okay. That would have been funny as hell if it was the other thing.
Dirty fantasies out of this campaign. This is a good kosher campaign. Heavy drinking and hookers.
Think of the children.
I just realized we're all magic characters having a drinking contest. We could totally get a brand deal for Piss Wizard. Piss Wizard.
Oh God.
Oh jeez. Okay. Okay. Keep drinking, or is Delvin gonna cause a fuss?
I don't know. Would it be intelligence or wisdom to try to figure out why this puddle of beer might be forming?
I don't know. I did do a roll, but I'm waiting for you to tell me what's going on for me to add whatever to it.
I had this explained once. It's like one of them is how smart you are, and the other one is how well you deduce things from your knowledge.
I think wisdom is deducing, intelligence is.
Yeah, let's do wisdom.
Alright, so just wisdom check.
Yeah, boy. Show me how wise you are, Grand Sage.
Well, because I already got a 16 on dice, so if I just add my
Yeah.
wisdom bonus, it's 18. So
From what you can work out through your steadily inebriated brain, you think that Tarkus might be cheating and pouring the beer directly into his suit instead of drinking it.
It's like no one's really asking me to take off the helmets, so screw it, let's go for it.
half drunkenly, the words coming out, "You're cheating," as Delvin, staggeringly reaches over to Tarkus's helmet, and pulling it off.
Can we get a reflex attempt on that?
Yeah.
Right. D20?
Yep.
D20. Reflex to see if I can prevent him from doing such a thing. Show this. Thank you. 11.
I don't know if you do opposed reflex or if you just roll a straight 20, Delvin. Maybe a dex.
You tell me what I roll if I roll at all, and
If he's drunk, shouldn't he? Is he drunk?
Yeah.
I'm not drunk. I'm tipsy.
he's
There's
tipsy.
a difference.
Yeah, he's tipsy.
Well, still
When you're
shouldn't he
tipsy,
be
you
taking-
still technically can do things, just not necessarily
Yeah.
as quickly.
should be like a negative, like a -1 to it.
Maybe just
You've sent the DM. Congratulations, everyone.
hush. Yeah, maybe a dex, but with disadvantage.
Dex saving throw or just a dex check?
Just a dex to see if you can grab him before he can dart out of the way.
At disadvantage?
Yeah, since you've been drinking and he hasn't.
Alright, first one is 12, and second one is 20, so I guess the 12.
Okay. Even fumbling a little bit, you do manage to grab the helmet.
And
You might need a strength check to get it off.
Oh, I'm good at those. I got a 19 in strength. Let's do this.
cool. Secret tab.
Son of a... I got a 12 if it's just straight strength.
Yeah, just straight strength. You kind of grab the helmet and you try to pull it off, but it seems like it's stuck on there, almost like it's connected to the armor instead of just sitting on his head like it's supposed to be.
Well, there's like chainmail under it, so it's like, Delvin, are You trying to interfere with our drinking contest? Jealous that you can't hold your beer?
Kind of pointing towards the dripping of the beer. What the hell is all of this? Have you just been pouring it in your soup? You haven't even drank it.
You have an
I'm
accident.
going to roll bluff to say, now I've been drinking it. I'll roll 1. I swear to God, it'd be the funniest thing.
If he rolls a net, I think that the thingy should open up if that was the case.
Shorts out.
Let that. As I pour another jug of beer go down, I speak clearly, nothing uninhibited. Like, no.
Of course not, as he's pouring beer down.
Oh man. Man.
Oh God.
So much for dealing with the plague. We're just all gonna pass out from beer.
I promise it's not the plague.
Plague is tomorrow or next session. Depends on how far we're willing to take the shenanigans.
Yeah, I warned you about the shenanigans, right?
It's better than having a player who takes everything and fibs all of his stuff.
It's like rolls a 1. I got a natural 20.
It's a natural something, but it's not a 20. It's like having size A boobs, but saying that you have double D's. It doesn't work that way.
I got double D's stuffing oranges on the shirt.
Oh man. Shenanigans continue.
Zell just watching this with amusement and with a face of amusement.
Zelda,
She's
what
still
are you doing through all this?
She's not sure what to do.
This is a little odd. But you guys have caught the attention of some of the groups around you. They're just kind of watching this like it's a soap.
Like, half orc goes to the Dragonborn. It's like, when do you think they're gonna kiss? Probably when the Tarkus takes off his helmet.
In the background, you hear like an actual novella in the background. How could you?
Okay. I want to try to cast sleep on Tarkus.
Okay.
I just love how it's not on me, it's on Tarkus. Just saying, I thought that was
Just trying
awesome.
to figure out what he is.
I know I am. Because I mean, I'm trying to figure out why he's pouring stuff into his essential shirt instead of into his mouth.
All right. So this is like a saving throw, charisma, or
Let me see. I might actually be immune to stuff.
hey, that's pretty good. So stupid. I try not to do shenanigans, but it just comes out. I apologize in advance.
Well, you don't have any natural immunities, so.
So like what?
I rolled 5d8.
5d8.
So it says that each, like, how many hit points do you have? How much HP?
Let's do that. 22.
What's that?
22 hit points.
Yes.
Does it
They say
affect the
20.
person? 22, he said. Does it affect the
Then I think
people with the
I think
most
my
or the
spell-
least first?
Safe do.
Oh yeah.
I think I rolled a total of 19, and I think it basically fails because if he has more than 19, then it doesn't really affect.
The bar maiden that was bringing us the wine passes out after trying to bring us our next round. That would be funny.
I don't know. Some of these spells are worded kind of oddly to me.
What's up?
Roll 5d8. The total is how many hit points of creatures the spell can affect.
Yeah, so he rolled 5d8. He got a total of 19. And then it's kind of like based on who's around him, you can affect up to as many people that have that. So it's kind of like if you have that, then it subtracts it, right? So if it's like 19 and someone has 10, you would subtract the 10 from the 19 and then whoever has 9, or is it anybody who has 19 or under?
Let's go with
I don't know, it kind of reads like the first one.
Yeah, because
So I was aiming at Tarkus, but it based on the wording, it makes it sound like I can't control exactly who. Ascending order of who has the least number of hit points, that person falls asleep, and then if there's more hit points after that affect more people, then they fall asleep too.
But since he has
the barmaiden knocks out.
this poor girl walking over with a tray of drinks
That's
hits the floor, beer everywhere. Adventurers are passing out behind you.
Basically, if there's anyone within 20 feet of me that has 19 hit points or less, I guess they fall asleep.
Oh yay! We don't have to pay for our drinks. As you see Delvin walk into whatever room that they had given to us.
Lord. Okay. So after the drinking contest and knocking out several people around you, you guys decide to retire for the night?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess that.
They go retired for a night. I go try out my suit of armor.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already half drunk, so staying up and drinking for much longer, I'm probably gonna try to kill someone at some point. So yeah, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, so you go in and pass out on top of your mattress. Miss Zelda disappears into her room to do whatever it is wizards do.
Tarkus goes fetches it.
Tarkus goes to fetch a towel.
You know, wizards always have to play around with their pointy hats. Just saying.
We have to study our cantrips, quote unquote.
Study your cantrips.
Hey, oh, with that pointy cap. Hey, thank you.
Now, if only you could get to the point. Da-dum.
Hey, oh. So, yeah. That's the time. That's the time.
Yep.
Let's go.
Does anybody need a bathroom break?
Actually, I do. Excuse me.
I guess that means we'll take 5. I guess. If anybody wants to take a break and go to the bathroom, get some water, whatever.
All right.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Andy. Half asleep.
Yeah, I'm still going, but yeah, a little sleepy.
Well, I've been up since about 5 o'clock this morning, so I've been up
Oh,
for
geez.
close to what, 16, 17 hours?
Wow.
And still kicking. All right, well, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Why are you shaking that?
chicken noodle soup. I don't know why I said that, but everybody else was doing their own thing. So, hi
It's good
everyone.
for the soul.
Are you eating chicken?
No, I had pizza.
I was gonna say.
I'm not being hard here. It's all right.
So where are we leaving off?
When are we getting off? Or I don't know. It's like we all went to bed, so I guess it would be quote unquote tomorrow.
The day dawns bright and early.
Yay.
Roll for hangovers.
First day.
Yeah, the day dawns bright and early. Everybody sort of shuffles out of their rooms and converges down by the docks where the three rivers kind of converge.
Tarkus is standing there, fine. His armor dried out. Zelda's there. Looks about the same as earlier yesterday. Just fine old lady. Just happy to be here.
Zelda hobbles. It's like, I'm not able to drink as much as I used to.
How about you, Delvin?
Oh, I'm there, mean mugging you for sure. But realizing that other things need to happen before I can actually kill you, so.
Tarkus standing there, all triumphant. Aha! Zelda standing there like, ooh, bit of a rough night. Delvin just hair matted. Tarkus an evil eye. Looking more like I'm thinking like Kylo Ren, only just drenched wet, like hair something over him for some reason. I don't know why. I'm just imagining Delvin as the brooding, angsty tryhard for some reason. No offense to you, sir. Out of character and back into character. Take it away, DM, before I ramble on.
As the groups assemble on the various docks, there are stewards and priests handing out little jars full of this swirling blue substance. And as one man passes one to your group, they explain that this is what they've come up with so far to halt the spread of the sickness that's been going around in various towns and districts in Three Falls. And this is mainly what all the adventurers are being sent out to distribute. There's also been a few towns complaining about orcs, goblins, gnolls, just different things here and there that they would like the main government's help with dealing with. And you'll be traveling upriver by barge. And as you're waiting in line to get onto your barge, Tywin comes up to your group. Good morning, good morning. How is everyone? He kind of smiles.
Present.
Zelda says, not so loud, not so loud.
My apologies, lady. I heard our young men had an interesting night.
Indeed. Said Tarkus. They Delveneer certainly tried to ring my bell. Failed to do so.
Ring my bell. Ring my bell.
Phrasing.
Yay, just go. He kind of motions the three of you aside and says, I'm going to be sending you to Farreach. It's the furthest town from Three Falls. But they may be in need. Their healer, you see, she didn't make it through this last winter. And, well, they've been having some trouble.
What type of trouble? Asked Tarkus, a matter of fact.
Some of the same troubles as you confided to me. So I just need you to make sure that this, he motions to the jar of swirling blue stuff, gets to them as soon as you can.
So, who were we supposed to hand this off to?
A Lady Sif is the captain of the town guard there. She will be in charge of handing things out.
Groovy. All right. Let's get the show on the road.
So if nobody has anything else to add, you can make your way down.
Zelda makes her way down.
Yeah, I guess I'll do the same.
Ditto. As I
Okay.
gently put the jar safely in my armor.
In your armor?
Or a knapsack nearby. I don't know.
Okay.
Compartment that looks like a bag, but looks
So Tarkus puts the thing into his bag, and you all go down and stand in line to get on one of these barges with a few other groups, a good 5-6 other groups. Since the barges have to go upstream, they are pulled by a couple of oxen walking along on the bank. And there's one ferryman who controls the big bovines. And you're off.
the river wide. Guess I sharpened my great sword. That's the time.
The journey will take a few days, probably a good week, just because you're going against the current.
Delvin would definitely get anxious given all the time that it takes.
Sharpens the sword, cleans up some armor. Buff, buff, buff.
I'll probably try to do the Parent Trap move at some point.
What's that?
The Parent Trap move, where the twins pull the the girlfriend's mattress out onto the water and let him just float away at some point.
Oh yeah.
That's awful.
Wow.
Poor lizards into his suit.
Okay.
Is there anything to do on these days that it'll take to travel, or?
Well, you can fish, you can talk with the other adventurers. I've got a list if somebody wants to roll a d20 and see if something happens.
Initiative.
Oh, I got a nat 20, but okay.
I got a 5.
A 5.
Oh, damn, 18.
18.
I'm just upset that the one time that I roll a nat 20 has nothing to do with anything that I'm actually doing. Just saying.
Well, let's see. That's 3 different events. The first couple of days are spent dropping off adventurers at the more tightly, the closer together towns. But as the days go on, the towns get further apart, and the numbers on your barge dwindle.
Very soon it's just the 3 of us and the driver.
Let's see, there's a 20, there's an 18, and what did you say, a 5?
It was a 5.
5. Well, on about the 3rd day, you wake to the sound of crashing thunder. The wind is picked up and is blowing. Leaves are coming off the trees on the side of on the banks, just whipping the water into a froth as the barge kind of bounces. And the oxen are getting spooked. You can see that the barge man is having a hard time getting them to calm down. He's actually stopped the barge and is off on the side of on the embankment trying to calm these really big animals. What do you want to do?
I help them calm the animals. Can I do an animal handling check?
Go for it.
I got there.
13. There's a cow in there somewhere. Okay. Yeah, you managed to help him keep the oxen from bolting, but they're still not happy about the storm. There's thunder booming and lightning just flashing down, and lighting up the darkness. The oxen are bellowing and not having a good time.
I roll perception, see if there's any danger about.
Go for it.
Cool.
Dalvin's doing absolutely nothing but hanging out in his bed because he's not paid to help this barge.
Alright. Can I just roll again?
I don't care.
Like, do I see anything? Or it's just like thunder, lightning?
Thunder, lightning, rain.
Roll better. 18. Any danger or just
No, just the elements.
Maybe in clouds. Just the elements.
No.
All right. Well, just gonna keep watch. Enjoy the thunder. Reminds you of family.
Well, there's not much you guys can do against nature. And once the oxen are under control, you just have to kind of wait it out.
And wait it out we do.
Wait it out, you do. The storm eventually peters out. Everybody's left soaking wet and kind of miserable. Of course, it's cold. Nice breeze blowing everywhere. But eventually you get back on track.
Hey. What's next? Uh-oh.
Next day, there's a heavy fog. Everything is just draped in mist, like low-hanging clouds. They drop off a few more adventurer parties.
Well, perception again, I guess. Just to investigate stuff. Call me paranoid. I see nothing. I decided to turn in for the day.
I got a 16 perception.
16. You think you
I guess
see.
that's what we're all doing. Okay, go ahead. No, that's
You think you see some shapes low to the ground, kind of moving through the fog, but you can't really see exactly what they are. Nothing that comes of it, but you do get the feeling that there might be something following you.
I got a 22.
22. You think it might be wolves. It's definitely some kind of pack formation, but the oxen seem to be healthy enough and there's enough people around that they're kind of keeping their distance. But they are following.
Scroll again.
I don't know if you want to do anything about them or just keep an eye on them.
13. Do I see them?
Delvin would take out his hand crossbow and just kind of use it for its down sight, and just kind of follow the wolves with it in hand. Should they try to attack, the only way he can get to his destination.
Okay.
I just don't have a close enough line of sight to attack just yet.
16.
Yep. Tarkus spots them too. They're still mist shrouded. Every once in a while, you might see like a gleam of eyes if the light catches just right. But they move off as you pull closer to another town. And the boatman decides to stop until the fog lifts because he's afraid for his animals. He's seen you guys get kind of twitchy. And he knows that there's predators out here in the wilds.
Are they still following, or?
They moved off as you got closer to civilization.
Right.
Putting down my crossbow, attaching it to kind of like a belt. I kind of walk to the bow of the boat and where everybody else is getting off, seeing who's kind of getting off of the boat, and looking over at the bargeman and just look at him and ask, how long before the fog fades? We are in quite the hurry.
He nods. I know. But with the sun coming up, I'd say about a couple more hours. I can't risk my animals, you know.
There'd be likelihood.
Shut up.
Can I do a persuasion check? Go ahead, Andy.
I got a 11 on perception check of the village that we're in.
Okay. It's smaller than the ones you've been to so far. They just get progressively smaller as you go down. This one's more like a village, and yeah, just a small village. There's a few houses that you can see through the fog. Their own town watch coming out to meet the group of adventurers that have disembarked the barge to help them.
I feel like if we have a couple hours to kill, we should do something in this village, but I'm not sure what.
Well, I would actually like to do maybe a persuasion check or something to see if I can get him to carry forward, and even though he doesn't want to, like to persuade him to pursue further or push onwards, if that's okay.
Yep.
16, 11 on die, 5 plus in persuasion.
Okay. He's really not sure, but you are kind of impressing on him, how important it is to get the medicines out to these people. And he kind of looks around at the fog and sees that it is lifting a little bit, not as much as he'd like, but he thinks that if the remaining adventurers would keep an eye out for the wolves, he would be willing to push on.
Upon hearing him say that, you'd automatically see me grabbing my crossbow and just pulling it off of my side, kind of at the ready, not saying anything, just say, push forward, kind of holding his hand crossbow and, obviously the trigger in one hand, but leaning it up against his other hand for like the steadiness, kind of to show that he's gonna keep an eye out instead of actually having to say it.
Okay. The boatman kind of nods more to himself, like he's trying to convince himself that this isn't foolhardy. He finally goes, right. Everybody on who's coming on, we're moving out. And he points to you, says, you be sure to keep a lookout. My Daisy and my Rose, they're very important to me. Shut up.
Slapstick.
So once everybody's on, he kind of taps the oxen to get them moving, and you guys take off.
keeping a watchful eye as we travel, upstream for any signs of wolf or any type of activity.
Okay. As you get further from the town you just left, the fog starts to lift a little more, and go ahead and make me some perception checks.
I have a 21 total.
Okay.
18.
12.
12. Well, Miss Zelda and Delvin can see in the distance that the wolf pack has started to close in again. They're still a little ways off, but they are back into hunting mode.
Roll perception.
If you want.
$17. Do I see him now?
Yes, you can see them now.
Can I attempt to intimidate?
You want to intimidate the wolves.
Yes.
Zelda casts mage armor
Okay.
on us.
Seven.
What?
Intimidation.
So you're trying to intimidate a wolf.
Hey, go.
Come at me, bro.
Would you say that these wolves are within 120 feet?
So bad at determining distance. They're still kind of a ways off. I mean, you can definitely make out their shape, and you can, see that their heads are down, and they're kind of doing that slow lope that they do when they run their prey to death. Just that, you can run, but we're going to catch up to you thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they might be just out of range.
That's intimidation. $17.
17. So what, you stand there, you shout at them?
Could I fire magic missile at him?
You want to fire?
I'm not gonna lie, that's exactly why I was asking if they were within 120 feet, because that's exactly what I was
It's like
thinking.
a warning shot.
Yeah, I figured. I don't know what kind of range does magic missile have.
I don't know if you can do a
120
flashbang.
feet.
120 feet.
Not expecting to hit them. I'm expecting to
Yeah.
scare them.
You might not be able to hit them, but the light and the sound might be enough to drive them off.
Save your spell slots. I'll cast Firebolt to scare them off.
I cast fire roll the intimidation.
Yeah,
I gotta be the big bad awesome dude.
I'm not used to everybody being a spellcaster.
It's scary. Frightens her mind. She's getting horrible flashbacks to Sailor Moon.
I figured I kind of had to be something of that with an armor class of 19. So I had to go spellcaster. Because if I did any of the other ones, I think it gives you a bonus to your AC. And at that point, I would have been over 20. So
Would it be safe to say that combined 2 magic missiles and a firebolt firing at them makes a successful intimidation?
Probably.
Makes them scatter like, hey, screw this ain't worth it.
Yeah, whatever you guys want to do. If you want Miss Zelda to cast something, or if you guys all want to shoot something, just to seem like you're contributing.
Yeah,
if I know for a fact I'm not going to hit my target, I'm not going to shoot. Because I'm kind of picturing it as like everything around us is kind of like woodsy area, right?
Yeah, the trees are starting to close in again as you get further from the town.
Yeah, so I'm kind of thinking if I fire and I know I'm not going to hit my target, it might cause a fire. So I'm not going to fire if I don't know I can hit my target.
Magic missile is like a force. It doesn't really catch anything on fire, does it?
Right.
So yeah, I have no worry for catching anything on fire. So fuck it, I'm gonna scare the wolves.
Okay.
It's like 17 intimidation, magic missile.
So you're aiming your magic missile in front of like the lead wolf?
Yeah. Intimidation 17. Let's go.
Okay. Well,
D4, please.
what are you doing damage to?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Let's roll. I think 20 see if I hit anything.
That magic missile just automatically.
Does it? No.
I think it does, yeah.
Yeah, it just automatically hits.
Yeah, with the D4.
What are you rolling damage on?
If it automatically hits, then
The wolves might be out of range.
it's intimidation. For intimidation. Roll the bluff. Son. Come on.
Yeah, it's an automatic hit, but if they're out of range, it wouldn't hit them.
So you just send 3 magic missiles into the ground, like in front of, or as far as you can towards the pack.
Mm-hmm. 17 intimidation, so.
Yeah.
Does it work? Does it scare them off?
Probably. So the ground suddenly explodes by them. They kind of stop in their tracks, and you can hear a yelp and a whine, and they like turn tail and take off.
Imagine pixelated 3 of us. Okay, screw it. Let's go.
Well, with the threat scared off, the fog lifts completely as the day goes on, and it's just another regular day. I'm usually in bed by now.
You and me both.
We'll call it a day, end the session once we get to the village. Sounds like a good plan.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
I
Right.
agree.
That way, if our friends who couldn't join because of internet problems could just have his goblin just be like, "Hello, I'm here."
Yep. Your last few
You
days.
can put on that.
Your last few days pass uneventfully on the barge. The rest of the groups with you kind of slowly disappear. And finally, you arrive at your destination of Farreach. And as you disembark, you find you have a 4th person with you.
He's been hiding in the barrel the entire time.
Is it a humble bottom?
It's a small
Goblin.
a goblin.
And
In fact, he's dressed
rather
very
fine.
richly for a goblin. A whole bunch of shiny stuff everywhere. And he sees you noticing him, and he looks up and says, "Hello."
I am Lord Humblebottom.
It is your pleasure to make my acquaintance.
And that's a good end as much as I can think of.
I think that's a pretty good off branch right there, just where he's introducing himself.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, none of us can do the impression of Lord Humplebottom as well as Jimbo.
Yeah.
It just isn't the same without him.
Yeah. So, is
Yeah.
there anything that needs to be said before we
In the
end
session.
the live broadcast?
As long as we can keep getting together every other week and have a stable connection when we do, I think we might actually be able to finish the campaign for once.
Yeah. Jimmy said he'd be back home. Well, he's just on like vacation thing. So
It's good.
Okay.
It's a good first session, everyone. Good job.
Yeah.
We didn't kill each other, thankfully.
yeah.
I
Not
really
yet.
was hoping for something of that nature, but it didn't happen. So whatever.
Yeah.
But until next time, you have been watching RPG Enlightenment, and this is the first session of a new campaign series called In the Balance that our good DM, Sarah, has been putting on for us. So until next time, guys, have a good night.